All right, so we begin this morning's bulletin with some breaking news coming in from across the border, viewers. CNN News 18 exclusive news break. This is by Manoj Gupta. Heavy fighting erupted along the Durand line in Khyber district as Afghan Taliban fighters targeted Pakistani security checkpoints as Makosar and Shakotsar. Pakistan reportedly suffered casualties with 9 troops severely wounded. Afghan forces allegedly used artillery and infantry in the attacks. Intense cross-border firing continues near Zaka Khel market, raising fears of further escalation between Pakistan and Afghanistan. And we have CNN News 18's Akansha Saroop live with us right now. Akansha, good morning and thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast. So first things first, Akansha, what independent confirmation do we have is available right now with us regarding the reported casualties and the use of artillery by Afghan forces?
So both sides, in fact, have confirmed these strikes across the Durand line, Sukanya, because the Afghan spokesperson, Zabiullah Mujahid, has said that operations have begun in Kandahar and Helmand along the hypothetical Durand line against security posts of Pakistan. Pakistan's information ministry has also been sharing details. But we must remember that earlier on Thursday evening, Afghanistan's military has launched an offensive against Pakistani positions. They are calling it as retaliation for Pakistan's airstrikes, which, as we all know, happened during the weekend, and it killed 18 people. So Afghanistan forces have now released a video of military vehicles moving at night and the sound of heavy gunfire. Afghanistan's defense ministry is also saying that the retaliatory attacks are occurring along the border in 6 provinces. And Pakistan strikes in Kabul, Kandahar and other provinces on the other side have led to extensive retaliatory operations. Minister Ataullah Tarar has admitted that Pakistan has also suffered casualties. But of course, true to Pakistan's script, they've been giving much lower figures than the Afghan claims. They are saying that only 2 Pakistani soldiers have been killed and 3 were injured. So without pointing to any specific claims by Afghanistan, Ataullah Tarar is accusing the government of Kabul of spreading false and baseless propaganda. After the defeat in the field, the Afghan regime is resorting to lies and propaganda. So the blame game already has started. But what we can tell you in the latest is that multiple casualties are being feared on the Pakistani side, and Afghan army is using artillery and infantry in these strikes. Heavy exchange of firing continues between Pakistan and Afghanistan in multiple sectors. In fact, as we speak, so sources are indicating that this escalation is going to snowball further. 9 Pakistani security troops reportedly have been severely wounded in the Afghan attacks on Pakistan checkposts. More importantly, you have to see the way they are making inroads into Pakistan. Several checkposts have already been occupied by the Afghans. According to the Afghan government, Sukanya, they have already captured 15 Pakistan checkpoints. Many soldiers also have been killed, and we'll have to see how this actually moves forward. Pakistan is also continuing to strike areas in several provinces of Afghanistan. So Afghanistan has made it amply clear that they are not going to take it lying down, because on the weekend we've seen how their strikes from Pakistan side led to severe casualties, and so Afghanistan is now in a mode to retaliate. They already are doing so, but Pakistan also digging in its heels, because the Pakistan Information Ministry has also made a statement saying that they will take all necessary measures to ensure their own territorial integrity and safety and security of its citizens. Now, important to keep in mind that this is also going to lead to further destabilizing of West Asia, as we already know about the ongoing tensions between Israel and Iran.
Right, Akansha, please continue to stay with us as we get more information from across the border. We have more breaking news coming in, viewers, that tensions between Pakistan and Afghanistan has escalated again. Afghan spokesperson has said in response to the repeated instances of rebellion and assaults by Pakistani military circles, extensive offensive operations have begun against Pakistani army centers and military facilities along the Durand line. Afghanistan government has said that they have captured 15 Pakistani checkpoints. Pakistani soldiers alive, many killed. Afghanistan claims they shot down Pak aircraft which entered their airspace. Afghan forces captured and set fire to post of Pakistan's military regime across the Durand Line in Khost. So, back to you, Akansha. How has Pakistan officially responded to these allegations? Have they responded yet? And if not, how could they moving forward, particularly regarding captured personnel and airspace violations?
So, Manoj has already brought us information, and as we said, that the information coming out of Pakistan's own information ministry is going on to indicate that there are casualties, yes, but there are lower number of casualties that are being currently admitted by them. As I said, Ataullah Tarar has admitted that Pakistan has suffered tremendous casualties, but the number that they are quoting compared to the Afghanis is much lesser. They're saying that only 2 Pakistani soldiers have been killed, but without pointing to any specific claims by Afghanistan, Tarar has accused the government in Kabul of spreading these false and baseless propaganda. Of course, Pakistan would never want to be seen in a position, in a weak position, and they always want to speak out of a position of strength. But if their own aircraft has been knocked down by the Afghans, then you can imagine that the situation is being tackled by Afghans, and they are seeing red at the moment because, remember, the strikes that happened over the weekend were started by Pakistan. And as far as the overall scenario is concerned, we speak at a time when, remember, US and Iran are already going ahead with their peace talks in Geneva. US and Iran have even wrapped up their talks on Tehran's nuclear program in Switzerland without a major breakthrough, but showing signs of progress. I mean, Iran's foreign minister is saying that the elements of a potential agreement are taking shape. Is this going to have any impact? We don't know as of now. But what we can say is that this situation is spiraling out of control as far as the exchange of cross-border strikes between Afghanistan and Pakistan is concerned. And there will have to be international mediation required because there are a massive number of casualties piling up on the Afghan side, but the Afghans at the same time are making inroads into Pakistani territory, and that seems to be, in fact, extremely unnerving for the Asim Munir regime in Pakistan.
Right, Akansha, please continue to stay with us again as we are receiving more information and fresh footage from the area. Viewers, please have a look. Right, so as you can see the fresh footage on your TV screens, viewers, this shows the tensions between Pakistan and Afghanistan has escalated. Afghan spokesperson has said that in response to the repeated, Pakistan has released footage of the Air Force's precision-guided airstrikes in Kabul, Afghanistan. This shows that the Afghan spokesperson, this comes after Afghan spokesperson said that in response to the repeated instances of rebellion and assaults by Pakistani military circles, extensive offensive operations have begun against Pakistani army centers and military facilities. Right, Akansha, back to you. So what diplomatic or military channels, if any, are currently being used to prevent further escalation along the Durand Line? It's very important to understand this at this point in time.
At the moment, there is none. The situation is, in fact, looking abysmal, Kanya. What the Taliban government is indicating, in fact, going by their own claims, they are, in fact, also having an upper hand. They've killed close to 55 Pakistani soldiers, Kanya. They've also captured some troops alive and taken 19 Pakistani military outposts. Now, this is a number that's been quoted by Hamdullah Fitrat, who is the Taliban government's deputy spokesperson. They're also adding that Kabul's troops have already been deployed along the Durand Line. 1,600-mile disputed border is what we are looking at. So Kabul certainly not in a mood to back down. Islamabad is in fact also currently in a position of they're extremely rattled by this ongoing operation, and Afghan's defense ministry is saying that these are retaliatory attacks which are occurring after the weekend strikes, and they are occurring in 6 provinces. And even though the indications coming in is that they ended at midnight, you never know when they may actually revive back. And following Pakistani strikes in Kabul, Kandahar and other provinces, Taliban is saying that these are going to be extensive retaliatory operations, and they have only begun against Pakistan's own military centers. So if you look at the epicenter of all the tension, Sukanya, it is Kandahar and Helmand at the moment. But we'll have to see how soon can there be an external intervention. Will any of the West Asian powers want to intervene, or will there be an intervention coming in from China or Russia? We'll have to see that. But Pakistan has already said that they are taking all necessary measures to ensure their own territorial integrity.
Right. Akansha, please continue to stay with us as we have former diplomat KP Fabian joining us live right now. Ambassador, good morning and thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast. So, given the situation, Ambassador, how do you think this is going to impact the security situation in the area moving forward? Because we're given to understand that there are no currently diplomatic or military channels in place.
Yes. Now, we also have to look at the bigger picture in the sense that how the Baluchi Liberation Army, BLA, is going to exploit the situation. As regards any possible ceasefire arrangements, one can only think of Saudi Arabia or Turkey. And it is true that Pakistan is militarily much stronger. It has got an air force.
Right.
And Afghanistan does not has hardly any air force. But nevertheless, I don't expect this to last too long because, as I said, you also mentioned Russia and China. So there are 3 or 4 external powers who should be keen and have the necessary diplomatic clout to bring an end to this conflict.
Right. Ambassador, so has international committee like the Red Cross, etc., any neutral body been granted access to a captured personnel so far? Do we know of that yet?
I do not know whether ICRC or, the Crescent has been given that access. In fact, if I may say so, both Afghanistan and Pakistan do not bother to comply with international humanitarian law.
Absolutely. Ambassador, thank you so much for joining us.